My name's Sarahjane White, and today we're going to talk about vermicomposting. This is a method of composting that uses worms to break down your organic kitchen waste. A lot of people find it easier to use worms than your traditional backyard compost pile because it's really easy to maintain. Basically, all you need is, first off, your worm bin. And that's going to be any container that is non-porous and opaque because worms don't like sunlight. So something like this Rubbermaid roughneck container, really easy to find at stores like Target and Walmart. But you would start by drilling holes in the bottom for drainage, about 1/4 inch holes, maybe set an inch apart, all along the bottom to drain, and then holes in the top for aeration. And then to prep the worm bin for your worms, all you're going to need is a little bit of bedding, which shredded newspaper works great. You're going to dampen this a little bit, spritz water on it. You want it to be about the consistency or the wetness of a wrung-out sponge. So once you have your worm bin, got your drainage holes, your aeration holes, and your bedding, then you just add your worms. And your average 2 to 4 person household will use about 1 pound of worms to go through their kitchen waste on a weekly basis. So this would be considered finished compost. You know the compost is ready when all the worms have eaten all of the organic material that you've put in, including their bedding, which they do eat. All that's left in here is sort of the fragments of eggshells, which can go into the garden, no big deal. But as you can see, it's a really rich, dense looking compost, and it's pretty much set for the garden. The one thing you do want to do after you harvest your compost, let it sit in a container for a few weeks because you will have worm eggs in the compost that'll hatch, and you'll want to get those guys out of that container before you put it in the garden. So you've got your worm bin prepped, your bedding's in there, add your worms, and you're pretty much good to go. You can add most any kind of vegetable matter from your kitchen, things like got vegetables that are a little bit past their prime, peels and rinds, even things like paper towels, coffee filters, and tea bags. The worms will break down, and in the end you'll get a really great compost and liquid fertilizer.